Hello, friends. We returned to the Fall of Porcupine. We went through the Harvest Festival. It was very nice. Mia won the stew competition. It was great. And we even got the hazelnut candle for Irma, which we haven't delivered yet, but we're going to, as we embark on our night shift. Not in the mood for the hibernation festival. Sure I am. But someone has to keep this place running. And I'll be down in a minute, though. Then we'll get the real party started. All that nonsense beforehand with the stew and everything? I can't stand it anyway. Boring. I heard you can win a bottle of caraway liquor at the wine stand tonight. I've got to get my hands on that. I've heard it's delicious. And there's only one bottle of it. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. What, has someone claimed the bottle already? Well... That greaseball. How dare he? The world just isn't a fair place. He won't even appreciate the drink of that quality. When I get my hands on him. Now off to your shift. Dr. Korosky is waiting. And you're on the night shift together tonight. Fantastic. I should pop... Oh, no. Pop into surgery. Say hello to the Brosif or friend. Sorry if my reading is somehow worse than usual. I have a geographic tongue. And I'm having a bit of a flare-up these past few days. It's starting to get... Today is the least problematic day of it. It was too. But the flare-up, it aggravates the tongue, which makes it a little hard for me to talk. Oh, I can't go say hello. Okay. Just to, you know, more issues than usual. Because of course. But today's a lot better than the past few days have been. Though I think it's like a combination of it's having a flare-up and I burnt the actual hell out of my mouth on some tea. So, problems. Good evening, Pinley. Happy Hibernation Festival, Dr. Korowski. Yes. Hope you had a good time. Yes, It's just the two of us today. Holidays are all well and good, but someone has to keep the lights on here. That's true, so how are things looking? As they should, people actually always feel a little better on days like this. Some are homesick, others are happy to have some peace and quiet. Still, from a physiological point of view, the Hibernation Festival actually seems to help them. I will take care of our Irma today. Please handle your duties. You'll find me in the break room when you're done. Alright, see you soon. Let me get my schedule for today. I still want to give Irma her candle, even if I'm not handling her today. Okay, P33, 31, and 304. That is a pissed off looking owl. Let's see what curveballs the little mini games throw me today. Oh dear, you are so angry. Hello. Dr. Greta Ginsdorf? Finally. Bring me back a cup of black tea. And tell Dr. Theobald I want to speak to him. I'm actually your attending physician. You're a doctor? St. Ursula, save us. You're barely out of diapers. Do they sell medical degrees online now? Let's not lose sight of the matter at hand, Dr. Ginsdorf. You came to us today suffering from severe tremors. On top of that, you've been complaining of reoccurring itching and muscle atrophy. Liver cirrhosis. What? Liver cirrhosis? Are you deaf? Have you already been diagnosed? I can't see anything here. I'm a surgeon, child. I've had liver cirrhosis for longer than you've been alive. Accordingly, I'm aware of the high mortality rates once surgical intervention becomes necessary. That's why I'm here. So let's cut to the chase and get down to business. Okay. I've heard that doctors are the worst people, too. Two, three, four, five. Yep. Your liver readings are in the critical range. You don't say. To make sure it is cirrhosis of the liver we're dealing with, you need to do a liver biopsy. No. No? I already know it's cirrhosis of the liver. What do you take me for? Although I'm sure your accounting department will be thrilled if you carry out a few unnecessary procedures they can charge me for. What if it's not liver cirrhosis? Do I have to teach you how to treat me right here? Listen. I like a drink, if you know what I mean. Excuse me? I'm talking about chronic alcohol abuse. And your nursing staff insists I don't drink here. So now I have two problems. Alcohol withdrawal and this blasted liver cirrhosis. According to the latest research, your symptoms could also be triggered by other diseases. New research? A load of waffle, that's what that is. Well, go ahead. I'm sure you know exactly what you're doing. Oh, good lord. Should have sent Karofsky for that one. Hello, bat friend. Oh. Good evening, Miss Van Gallen. It is important not to get rattled. After every inhalation comes an exhalation. Inhale, exhale. Everything that is closed will one day be opened up again and vice versa. May I interrupt for a moment? No. Hello, Finley. I didn't hear you come in. We were just lost in conversation. I bumped into dear Sonia this evening in the cafeteria. That is one way of putting it. I'd forgotten I was meant to have an important meeting today. Suddenly I got a hard breath. Suddenly it got hard to breathe and I passed out again. Dr. Gruten brought me back here. I have to admit to a certain amount of luck. Benjamin from surgery happened to be passing through at the time too. He was a huge help in getting Sonia up here safely. Thank you, Dr. Goddard. Goddara? Do you have any recommendations for course? What are you two talking about? Oh, this and that. Ourselves, the world. I helped Miss Van Gallen breathe until she managed to calm down. Miss Van Gallen, I wish you all the best and a natural recovery for both body and mind. Now I've already taken up far too long of a break. I wish you both a pleasant evening. Thank you, you too. How are you feeling, Miss Van Gallen? I still feel a little out of sorts. Your blood pressure must have begun fluctuating. You have an extremely high resting pulse when you first arrived here. The drugs regulated your blood pressure. Dr. Guerin kept talking to me until I felt better. He was saying something about my inner core, breathing exercises, that kind of thing. I tried yoga once, not my cup of tea. Yes, Dr. Guerin has his own way of looking at things. But he wasn't exactly wrong. Let me check your readings. We have to make sure that the drugs are working so you remain stable. Alright. Oh no. No. Oh shit. We didn't completely bomb it. Still gotta see. I'm afraid medication will only go part of the way to solving the problem. It would be wise to develop ways to reduce stress. Unfortunately, this happens to a lot of us people nowadays. But how am I supposed to avoid stress? Well, there are a few options, but you'll need to work out what works best for you. They didn't teach us much about stress avoidant techniques at medical school, to be honest. The things that Dr. Gonter said, they kind of helped. I'm going to take a nap. Maybe I'll get lucky and catch Dr. Gontira again tomorrow. Rest well. Okay. I don't know why it gives me the option to re-talk to them. I wish I was better at that mini game. I feel like even if I'm in sync, I'm too late anyway. One more. No, Irma's on the way. I guess I can't see her until after. I would have really loved to have gone to the Hibernation Festival today. I'm sure you would. I'm sorry it didn't work out. It's okay, I've been having my own little Hibernation Festival right here. I just had a coffee with cream and hazelnut. It was the highlight of my day. You have an inflammation of the renal pelvis. Are you in pain? Yes, but I'm trying not to let that get to me. Alright, but don't make things too uncomfortable for yourself. We can always get you some painkillers if you want. For now, I'm going to give you some medication to help bring the swelling down. I'm bad at this one too, to be fair. And that looks to be the closest. Oh, geez, ma'am. B. Yes. Please tell us if the pain gets any worse, or if you have any problems urinating. You shouldn't really be drinking caffeine this late in the day, but you might find that coffee helps a little. Anyway, I wish you a wonderful Hibernation Festival and a sound night's sleep. Thank you, I'm definitely wide awake right now, I've got to admit. Oh, I can't give her candle yet. I think that today is the worst of my scoring. I just wish I was better at the arrow game. I find it the most frustrating. I've done, Dr. Karofsky. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? No, everything's fine. You're right. The patients really are doing a little better today. I'm glad I'm on the night shift now. It's really quite pleasant, if you say so. Now let's see. You were really quick today. I like that. I have one more request for you. Of course, what? Miss DeMichela. I've been watching her tonight and she's not doing well. She asked for the nice doctor if the nice doctor would stop by again today. I think she means you. Why don't you go check on her? I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. Sure, I'd love to. I've got a gift I wanted to give her anyway. Well, don't keep her waiting. Oh, Irma. Hey, Irma, how are you doing? Finley, what are you doing here? I thought you were out celebrating today. I was. It was great. I met a lot of people, and the stew contest was really exciting. They got the fountain working again for the occasion, and look what I found, Irma. Can you smell that, Doctor? The scent is just incredible, and you really made my day. I'm feeling much less shivery already. This brings back so many images for me. So many memories from years long gone by. For all the many hibernation festivals I've seen. It was your first one today, wasn't it? Yes. But you should get some rest, Irma. All this talking gets to your lungs. No, it's alright. I need someone I can spin my yarns to. I'm very tired. But I would like to tell you one last story. Irma? What do you mean by that? It's okay. What? No, it's not okay at all. We'll get you back on your feet, I promise. I'll get Dr. Kowalski right away. We'll figure it out. You're already done more than I can imagine. But may I ask one more favor of you? Of course. What is it? I'd love another cup of tea. My throat's a little dry, you know. Of course. We know, Finley. Don't fuss. It's all right. I'll just dash to the break room. We have tea there. I'll be right back. No, no. We always have hot water here, thank goodness. What kind of tea should I make? Peppermint's good for the stomach. We'll do a winter tea. Finley, take a break, alright? No, I'm just getting a cup of tea for a patient. Yes, old Irma has a taste for the finer things. Could you come with me, please? Irma isn't doing well at all. I know. I already went to see her and checked her readings. She's going to die. In the next few hours. But we have to do something. What I'm going to do is make myself a cup of tea too. How can you just walk in here like nothing's wrong? Why aren't you doing anything? I've already done everything I could. Sometimes even... Sometimes even the best treatment in the world can't help Finley. But go to her. Make her last hours as comfortable as possible. That is our duty to her now. Make sure she has enough painkillers. Shouldn't we contact her son? I have already tried that too. Unfortunately, I have not yet been able to reach Giuliano. I'll keep trying and inform him of the situation. Go now. Irma's tea is getting cold. Okay. Irma, I'm back. And I've got your tea. Irma? Who? Oh, sorry, I must have dozed off for a minute there. You're a darling, thanks to you so much. Just settle down there. I remember my first hibernation festival like it was yesterday. And it was already very cold for that time of year. The cars and park benches were buried in snow. But the hibernation festival still had to go on, of course. Gilbert loved hot air balloons more than anything else in the world. But he also had a great fear of flying. And he wasn't the youngest anymore either, neither of us were. So we compromised by heading to the countryside to watch balloons race. At least we used to until it was banned. It was the hibernation festival. When Gilbert sat in the hot air balloon for the first time. There was already snow on the roads and roofs of the houses. The lights, the smell. We were there every year. When it was cold outside and everyone started to come closer together, I'd already bought a hazelnut candle and enjoyed some lovely conversation with plenty of laughter when Gilbert secretly slipped away. He spotted a hot air balloon in the square. Back then you could still book flights in the winter. They said you could see the whole town from up there. But that year, the balloon remained grounded. The weather was already bitterly cold and very windy. Then, all of a sudden, an icy gust of wind blew across the square. Hats and caps flew through the air. Mothers had to hold on to their children. And that gust of wind blew Gilbert right into the basket of the balloon. When he picked himself up to climb back out again, he got the fright of his life. The balloon had broken loose and was already rising hundreds of feet above the town. And me? I'd seen the whole thing and leapt desperately at a dangling rope to try and hold the balloon down, but instead I simply floated away with it. Gilbert helped me into the basket, and the wind carried us higher and higher into the wintry clouds. Porcupine was no more than a small speck of light in the fog. Eventually, it disappeared altogether. Gilbert could barely move due to his fear of heights. The cold bit into our skin. But I managed to cheer him up. His dreams had finally come true. I reminded him riding in a hot air balloon. Unfortunately, we soon realized that the burner was frozen. But then I remembered the hazelnut candle I bought. So Gilbert and I made ourselves comfortable in the basket of the balloon and lit the candle to keep warm. I don't know how long we sat there, but it was indescribably beautiful. Just us, the sky, and the clouds, and the scent of the hazelnut candle. Suddenly, there was a bang. The burner had started up again. The heat from the hazelnut candle had thawed it out. Gilbert quickly figured out how to steer the balloon. Even the altitude didn't bother him anymore. But would we know which way to go? Then, before we could even begin to worry again, I heard it, very softly. The hibernation hymn, the song everyone in Porcupine sings together for the hibernation festival. We strained our ears and Gilbert steered the balloon straight towards the song. Eventually, Porcupine emerged from the fog. The beautifully decorated marketplace and snow-covered roofs. And the festival goers, what a sight! They had broken into song to help us find our way back. Gilbert landed right in the front of the fountain, and all the crowd cheered. And that's the story, more or less, of how my Gilbert and I took flight together for the first and last time. He died the following year. I'll be reunited with him soon. Then we'll fly together again. My Gilbert and I. And they still play... Are they still playing the hibernation hymn in the square? Maybe I'm not quite sure. I think I can hear it, just faintly. Yes, they're probably still celebrating. And here's the two of us stuck working the night shift at the hospital, huh? You're doing a good job with the work. But Irma, I made it to the hibernation. Fuck. We completed the second act, guys. Oh, little snow porcupine. Well, it looks like someone got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning. What happened? Didn't you enjoy the hibernation festival? Things aren't so great right now, Alpha. Can I help you? No. Oh, Finley. Finley, you need shoes, bud. Oh, the little snowman. Finley! Hello. You don't look so good. If I didn't know better, I'd say you're in a river bursting the banks. You could say that. How are things with your sister? I told her about your stream of consciousness idea. Two twigs clinging together to stem the current. We cried for a full hour. Oh, that's good, I hope. It is. Soon the river's student will become the master, right, Finley? You mean me? Not yet, but soon. Perhaps. Well. Hex, I'll teach you how to choose the right camping chair. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Oh, gosh. Well, that just made me a mess of a person. They couldn't get a hold of her son. I don't want to go the long way to work today. Oh, I should have went the long way. No, Gilbert's is here. I guess he's not, though. Oh. It sounds like a storm is starting. A bit of a power flicker there. Let me just... We might have to call this one a little shorter. Or... something. I don't want to lose... I don't want to lose the footage. I can't go back in the save. So let me get... should be okay. We should be fine to keep going for a little bit more. Man, it really snowed. Someone's gonna slip on that. We did it. We made it to work. I sense a dark cloud over you, young one. You had a death on your ward, right? It's never pretty, that's for sure. But the river of life flows on regardless. Let it carry you. We'll all get swept into the great sea of eternity one day. Not helpful. Morning. Have a nice weekend. Why the gloomy face? Morning, Ingrid. I'm not in a great mood. Is it because of Miss D. Camilla? I'm sorry, kid, really. I'd like that old lady, too. I was hoping I'd feel better after the weekend. Well, I guess you're just one of those people who feel a lot for others. Just make sure it doesn't become a problem for you. That's part of our profession, kid. Try to focus. There's enough living people around here who need your help. I get it, though. They always say that the first death really sticks with you. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'll focus and try my best. That's the spirit. You know, I never check out back anymore. And I should. I don't think Finley's in much of a talking mood, but that shouldn't deter us. I'd rather leave Gregor alone. I really can't deal with his grouchiness right now. Yo! What's up? What's the matter with you? Did you get cut? Did they cut your pay? Hehe. Hey. You guys have been working when someone's passed away before, right? Sure. All the part of the job. How do you deal with it? Yeah. Archie, you were on duty this weekend. What happened? No idea, Demi. Exactly. That's how we handle it. We had a few people die on us in the ambulance over the years, or even before they get them on board. We deal with emergencies every day. You can't avoid that kind of thing now and then. Take a look at Archie here. A full day's emergency work behind him, and he has no idea what happened in that time. But why not? Because that's the healthy way of dealing with it, and that's what works for us. We don't want to take that stuff home with us. Exactly, or to our next call out. Imagine you were being called out, and an elderly person dies at the scene of an accident. Just like that, sometimes that stuff just happens. It's really tragic. Sure. Do you know what's even worse? When you're headed to your next call out 5 minutes later, and the person you're meaning to be helping there suffers because you're not focused. It can't work like that. Insert new disk, delete data. That's how you work. That's how you work. I'm not so sure about that. Good morning, Finley. How are you? Alright, I think. A patient died yesterday. Your patient. I imagine Irma's death is still on your mind. Nevertheless, I would ask that you don't let your performance levels drop. We can't let these things affect our work. Got it. You can rely on me. You know the drill. We'll talk again once you're finished treating your patients. Try to make this a good day, Finley, in spite of everything. Good luck. Oh, and one more thing. Irma died of complications from pneumonia. She was old, her immunity system just couldn't hold everything off. She remained stable for a while. However, her condition worsened during her stay here. These things happen sometimes. The incident with the water damage in her room probably didn't help either. What I'm trying to say is, you did nothing wrong. I've even made a note to reflect in my report. I assigned you to treat Irma. And that was the right decision. I'm sure of it. I have some text messages. Finley, I heard the news this morning. Do you want to talk? Maybe grab coffee or something? No. I want to get my work done first. Okay. If you want to talk later, just come and find me, okay? Who texted me? Mia and Pina. Oh, yep, from the Hibernation Festival. Okay, so P33 is the very, very grumpy owl doctor. So we'll just... Now, my dear colleague, what's your assessment of your health status? My withdrawal symptoms are diminishing, and so is my pain. Good. Do you mind if I examine you? That's what I'm here for. Oop. T. P. I. Yay. Yay. We're going to keep increasing your vitamin B1 and energy intake. Your liver's on the mend. Are you sure? Nonsense, my liver's had it. Your readings are clear. Really? You came to us just in time. Feel free to take a look for yourself. We'll have to keep you here for a few more days for observation. If you want to keep on living, you need to keep off the alcohol. Forever. Clear, honest words. I like it. Maybe something will come of you after all in the distant, far-off future. But what I do or do not do is none of your business, understand? I've given you my medical opinion. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Really, she was less bitey today. Okay, Bat Lady, who I will subsequently fuck up a little... Well, no, she gets pills today. Good morning, Miss Van Gallen. Is it that time already? Your colleague said you'd be checking on me today. Well, looks like she was right. Shall we get straight to it? I'm sure you want to get back home, too. I like the pill one. Need 4. Well, this is way too many. Okay. Okay, there we go. Nice. Yep, I'm seeing a significant improvement. You know what? I'm actually feeling a lot better today. Better than I have in years. I feel like I'm really aware of my surroundings again. Sounds like the medication's doing its job. Yes, but I think there's more to it than that. I managed to talk to Dr. Gantira again, and it was like he tore down a wall inside me. Suddenly I saw everything I used to think was important in a different light. I've decided to change my life around completely. I don't want to end up here again. I want to be able to focus on other things, instead of just living for my job. I called my boss this morning and requested 4 weeks off. That's great. That's not what she thought. She threatened to fire me on the spot. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I am the island, I am the sea. And maybe unemployed. And I don't care at all, and that's great. I'll do my exercises and follow my heart once more. Thank you for helping me. I'll make sure to thank Dr. Gutira again before I leave too. Have a great day, and look after yourself. Oh, I'm glad she's on the mend. Work stress is a bitch. Alright, let's go see the tiny, less crabby looking owl. Oh, you're sitting up. Hello. You're Emma, right? Okay. Miss Emma Strawberry Yogurt, right? No. Emma Smith. Oh, right. That's what it says here. I must have read it wrong. How are you feeling, Emma Smith? I miss my home. And I've got a tummy ache, too. You did get some pills, didn't you? But it's still not better yet? No. Alright, let's take a closer look at what's up with your tummy, then. Tiny child. Okay. Oops. Not quite. Mm. No. I haven't tried it here. I'm not gonna do great on this one. Um. Oh. Okay. There we go. I think your pain is because of your food allergy. I read that you're not allowed to eat certain things, is that right? Yes. So are you watching what you eat then? Yeah, but... What is it, Emma? Well, Brenda said that after the hibernation festival you can eat as many nuts as you want. Is Brenda your mom? No, my mom's name is Mom, and she's away. So who's Brenda? Brenda Keysadork. I always visit her when I'm homesick. She's a doctor, like you. Wait a minute, do you mean Dr. Genstorf? Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Emma? Okay. Please don't eat any more nuts. I'm sorry, but your tummy doesn't like nuts, not even after the hibernation festival. Oh. It's mean, I know, but your tummy aches are mean too, aren't they? Yes. So you keep off the nuts and we'll think of some nice things for your tummy, for you and your tummy to eat, okay? Yeah, okay. Hmm. Hold on. Hold on. It took you longer than usual today, but given the circumstances, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that. Let's see. What have you got for me today? I don't have anything for you. Dr. Theobald was asking after you. Oh, really? Why? I couldn't say. However, he did ask if I could give you the rest of the day off. I'm not happy about it, but I said yes. I guess it must be something important then. Do you think I should go to his office? You can, if you like, but won't find him there. How do you know? Because he's just made himself comfortable in our break room. Oh, strange. That's just the way he is. I guess I'll pop in and see him then. As you wish. Finley, there you are. Thank you for coming. Sure, Dr. Theobald, what can I do for you? Nothing, but I wanted to talk to you. Why? First of all, I would like to thank you. You've done an excellent job these past few days. Thanks. Is that all you wanted? No, not at all. I heard about Irma de Camilla passing, of course. A tragedy, truly. Like so many others here in Porcupine, we knew Irma well and liked her a lot. I'll miss her very much. The whole town will. But you were the one who looked after her and were there for her in her final days. Is Irma the first patient who's died under your care? Yes. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not uncommon to struggle getting your... It's not uncommon to struggle getting them off your mind. The first time. I still remember my first too. I think I know what you mean. I still think about Miss de Camilla a lot. Just try not to let those thoughts affect you too much. After all, there are still plenty of other people depending on your help. Don't get distracted from looking out for them. It's Irma's funeral service this afternoon. It will be held at Gilbert's. Giuliano hosts most of the funerals in this town. I'm sure this one will be especially hard for him. You should be there. You'll feel better afterwards, believe me. You mean I can go to the service? You are excused from the rest of the day. And I'm sure Miss de Camilla would have invited you anyway. Okay then, I'll be there. Thank you, Dr. Theobald. No need to thank me, Finley. Say goodbye to the old lady for me. Take care, kiddo. And don't slip on the snow. I already pulled something in my back this morning. Such a hike back to town. Oh, you're open today. Hi. Can I interest you in a hot cup of coffee? Perhaps tea or a saffron roll? No thanks. Sorry, I've got somewhere to be. Sure thing. Hmm. So you're here too, young one. It's good to see you. The roller coaster of life never stops, does it? A few days ago, we were gathered to celebrate. Today, we're gathered to weep. Finley. Hey, Giuliano. I'm so sorry. I wish I had more. Finley. It's okay. Thank you for coming. I know we haven't known each other for long, but it means a lot to me. Please make yourself at home. There's food and drink. Go ahead, take a seat. Just make yourself at home. Is there really nothing I can do for you? Come to think of it, there is one thing, actually. Anything you want. What is it? I think there's a colleague of yours here, too. He didn't hang around long. He just stood in the corner and didn't talk to anyone. Then I think he went out the back door. I haven't seen him since. Could you see if he's still there? I checked myself, but I've got my hands full. Sorry, here I am, asking for your help again. It's no problem, Giuliano. I'd be happy to do that for you. Thank you. I'm sure Pina made the figure. It's such a nice tradition. I'm proud of you, Pina. Pa. Did you know Irma? Of course. I love stopping to chat to her during my routes. She was always sitting on her window with a plate of cookies next to her. She always made me coffee on cold days. I'd love one of her coffees right now. Irma, I can't believe she just died like that. It's so unfair. Wow, you're here. Sorry, Finley. I know how much you liked Irma. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just happy I could be here today. Me too, even if it has been a bit stressful for me. But I'd do anything for Irma. If there's anything I can do for you, just say, okay? Hey, Finley. Ted, you're here too. Of course. I've already fallen in love with this little bar. I didn't know there was a funeral today, and I didn't know the deceased at all. But I'd still like to be here for the wake. I'm sure Giuliano would be glad to see you. I hope so. Oh. Gregor, you're here too? Get lost, kid. Don't you want to come inside? The service is about to start. No. There's food and drink. Lots of people here. Leave me alone. Okay. Alright. Oh, Finley's missing his body. It's all my fault. What do you mean? I'm doing the best I can. I know the hospital relies on me. I'm the one who's supposed to look after it, after all. Where is Finley's body? If the old lady hadn't gotten sicker, if that water damage hadn't happened, if I'd just taken better care of the hospital, then maybe she wouldn't have. This is my burden to bear. I'll never forgive myself. All those people in there, I see the way they look at me. They know it's my fault. It's not, though. I felt the same way. I was the one treating her right up to the end. I still believe she'd get better. I didn't want to face the fact that she was going to die. But in the moment she passed, I knew she was at peace with it. She was old, her body was weak, and she was happy. She didn't want people looking after her all the time. And that's okay. I did my best, and you did too. But sometimes things crumble and collapse anyway. Sometimes we have to say goodbye to people. Sometimes we can't help them. I'm going in now. You can come with me if you want. I can't. I'm gonna stay here. Okay. But if you change your mind, just know that you'll be welcome. Sure, whatever. I should go. I don't want to disturb the bereaved. You should do what feels right for you. No one's forcing you to stay. Yeah, you're right. Let's go in. If we go in at the same time, they won't all be staring at me. And I can slip away quickly if I need to. Sounds good. Balls. That guy's a trouble starter. Oh boy. I continue to be missing my middle. So, did you find him? Yeah, he's the janitor at the hospital, but he doesn't want to come in. And I think he needs some time to himself. I think we all do. I'm glad he's here, though. Speaking of which, how are you holding up? I'm coping. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. I will, my friend. Please sit down. It's about to start. Dear guests, could I have your attention for a moment? Thank you all for coming. I can barely bring myself to speak, but last night Irma, my dear mother, passed away. She was a real talker, always telling stories, and she was surrounded by people who loved her. That's you guys. Thanks for that, all of you. When I was little, she taught me to play an instrument. She practiced with me, and I hated every second of it. But when I was playing, her eyes would just light up. I wish she could look at me that way again. I wanted to play a very special song for you. A song Irma requested every time I picked that instrument up. Poor Finley's just missing his whole middle. I remember one day it was really frosty when I had to deliver my letters. I slipped on the patch of ice. My whole mailbag fell into the river with all the letters still inside it, and uh, it tore my ligament. Irma not only helped me fish every single letter out of the river, she then even dried them, restored them, and delivered them for me. Irma worked with my parents in the restaurant. Things had been going downhill for a while, then Irma came up with a new dish. Rainbow Garten. It was a hit. Before long, it was the only dish anyone wanted. Irma and I used to play backgammon together every Thursday in the summer. How did you know her, Irma Finley? I'll tell you how the squirt knew Irma. He's the one who let her die. It's the truth. Irma was in great shape. Then one day she just bends over, sprains an ankle, and ends up in the hospital. And a few days later, suddenly she's sick, real sick. And then she just dies. I'm telling you, it's all that guy's fault. Him and all the staff at that awful hospital. Just heard them talking about it right now. They're letting the hospital deteriorate. It's so bad the folks who go there pick up new diseases in the wards. Irma didn't even have pneumonia until they took her to that dump. I'm telling you, Irma didn't just die. She was murdered there. If St. Ursula wasn't so useless, Irma would still be with us today. Be a celebration, not a mourning. Everyone who works there should stand up and take the blame for this. We'd all be better off if that hospital was torn down and never darkened our skyline again. Ralph, that's a crock of nonsense. Nah, hold on. Maybe he's got a point? Yeah, St. Ursula's is dangerous to us all. That's right. We need to run the murderers out of town. Maybe it would be better that way. Look around you. Do you see anyone from the hospital here except for this clown? Exactly. They don't even have the nerve to come to her funeral. Besides, they know it's her fault, plain as the nose on your face. But quiet, everyone. Please. This isn't about pointing the finger at anyone. This isn't about St. Ursula's. It's about Irma, my mother, your friend. Finley? Yeah? I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but perhaps it would be best if you leave. But please, I don't want this argument to ruin Irma's memorial. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Let's talk later. Okay. You mark my words, that guy's gonna end up sick and in the hospital. It's gonna be a pain. Oh man, that did not go how I expected. Who's calling me now? Looks like my cell phone had no reception at Gilbert's. Mia and Carl both tried to call me. I'll call... I don't know who to call. I like them both. I'll call Mia. Hey, Finley. Thanks for calling me back. I was worried when I saw you today. Are you okay? I'd be lying if I said I was. Oh, I don't know if it'll help, but actually I have plans for tonight. I think I need to get my mind off things, and I'm guessing you might want to as well? If you come along, we could help each other. Tina will be there too. Ah, piss. Sure, why not? Cool. Just go off work. I'm standing in the middle of the town square. Perfect. I'm heading your way now. Let's meet at the hospital entrance, okay? Alright, see you soon. Should've went with Carl. I don't want to deal with Pina. I hope your evening went better than mine. Let's see. Is the funeral over already? Dr. Kurosky told me you were there. Sure was. There was an argument. People said it was my fault Irma died. What? I wanted to explain myself but didn't get the chance. That's so mean. That makes me so angry. Yeah. Can we change the subject, maybe? Anything special going on in your life? Well, today is my stage debut. What do you mean? I'm rehearsing with the Porcupine amateur dramatics group for the first time. Want to come watch? I want to get used to having an audience. Do I need to do anything? Watch, listen, nod. And don't be too harsh a critic. I can do that. Yay, let's go. The rehearsal is taking place at a small stage in the park. Okay. I was hoping it would give me the little leaf of saving. We've run over quite a bit. Guess this will just be a long one. Mia! I'm glad you came. And you brought Finley with you too. Yes, I asked if you wanted to come, but just to watch. Watching? Nonsense. You're just in time. One of our members dropped out today. No! Caught a flu at the hibernation festival or something. Oh no, can we still rehearse without them? Sure we can. You brought a perfect replacement. But... Oh yes, Finley, please say you'll join in. I'm sure that's just what I need to feel more oh, guys, come on. No. Ugh. I was in the theater group in elementary school, but I might be a little rusty. What's the play? Will it even work with someone new to the role? That's what's so great. We're an improv troupe. We'll get everyone a role at the start of the show, then just see what happens. And tonight, we've got something very special in store. A terrible crime that needs solving. Wahaha. Next time we're going with Carl. I'm scared already. You're telling me. And you, Finley, are going to be our detective, the private eye. The guy who was a little too tough for the police. You're basically the referee. It'll be great. Great practice for the rest of the group. Oh, okay. I hope I can pull it off. I know you can. This is gonna be great. Is everyone ready? Yep. I'm already pumped. Let's go. No, we're hanging out with Carl next time and every time. Alright. You've all been given a brief on your roles. Any questions? Good. Folks, we've got 2 new additions today. So to celebrate, I've come up with something special. Listen up, everyone. We open on an old hospital. In 6 in the morning, there's a storm outside. The rain's coming down in buckets as one by one you enter the building. Shortly after the shift begins, we hear a chief physician's voice break into a horrific scream. Oh, ah. Come on, you can do better than that. Let me feel your terror. Ah. Much better. A body has been found in the chief physician's office. But it's not just any body. It's the body of the chief physician's personal assistant. You gather in the breaking room. The fresh coffee is still bubbling in the pot when the door flies open once more. Into the room strides none other than the city's most famous detective. Finley, that's your cue. His face is grave, his steps determined, and so the questioning begins. Finley, you just let me know when you're ready to get your verdict, okay? Okay. Alright, folks. Let the interrogation begin. You don't understand how awful it was. If it were just a dead body, I wouldn't have been so shocked. I've seen more than a few of them over the course of my career. But in my office? Before my 3rd cup of coffee? That's the world coming to. How am I doing, Finley? Am I convincing? You're doing great, but you need to stay in character. Oh yeah, oops. I'd like to ask you about the incident. Yes, of course. I think we all want to get to the bottom of this. And as soon as possible, too. Where were you? I'm busy, so keep it short. Very well, I'll be brief. Where were you when the incident happened? I wasn't in the building at the time of the incident. I had already left early yesterday evening. I always try to get here as early as possible as a rule. That way, I could finish the day's work early too. Only today my car broke down, so I didn't arrive until the same time as the rest of the staff. The breakdown service took forever. But maybe that was lucky for me in the end. Otherwise, it could have been me lying on the cold floor. Horrible. That does rule me out completely as a suspect, though. I see. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I just can't stop wondering why it had to happen in my office of all places, and how the only person with a key besides me was my assistant. And we couldn't stand each other. I don't know what he was doing in my office. As far as I know, he was never in my office unless I was there too. His key was only for emergencies. If you ask me, it was the nurse anyway. My PA made some nursing cuts a few weeks ago, and I've heard nothing but complaints since. She also has a pension for being unprofessionally emotional, if you know what I mean. Please hurry up. I'd love to help, but I've been busy all morning. Busy, eh? With what? Sometime last night, the damn pipe in the basement burst again. That's the third time this month, not that anyone cares. And everything was always underwater. So I spent the whole morning on my hands and knees down there tinkering around. And then I thought, what's the strange object in the water? And hey, presto, I had the murder weapon in my hand. Not that I knew that at the time, obviously. And did you notice anything else? I don't know if this is relevant, but I talked to the guy a lot. Out on the stairs after work. He's the only guy here that smokes apart from me, see? 2 days ago, he said some weird stuff. Though someone was following him, stuff like that. I managed to calm him down, told him he was imagining it. Turns out he wasn't. Alright, thanks for the tip. Maybe the ambulance driver? He is always kind of weird when it came to the PA. Saw him sitting in front of the guy's office again yesterday. Don't know if that helps. Nope. Do you know anything about the chief physician? Well, I don't think my boss would have killed anyone. She's a lot of money and a nice apartment. Why would she ruin all of that? Nah, I don't see her doing that. Yeah, whatever. It's really terrible what happened. I still can't believe it. I was even here when the crime took place, and I still couldn't do anything. Where in the building were you at the time of the crime? I always come in extra early because I like to work in the peace before the hustle and the bustle starts. So I sat in my office all morning, going through patient records. Haven't been here long. I was eager for a fresh start after my previous hospital. And I get along very well with everyone here. I'm still trying to get up to speed. Anything unusual? As you may already know, I'm pretty new here, so I probably wouldn't even notice if there was something out of the ordinary. But maybe that will help you provide more objective view than your colleagues. Yes, I suppose so. I don't want to make any false accusations, but there is one thing as it happens. The chief physician came to me a few weeks ago. She asked me to keep an eye on the janitor. I think he was seen hanging around my floor a few times, headed into the storeroom. Some people suspect him of stealing medication. And have you noticed anything? No, I've never seen him there. But maybe the murder victim caught him in the act. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, truly. At the risk of sounding like a phony, I respect her very much, and I am glad to have the opportunity to work under her. I think I can still learn a lot from her. I mainly stay out of his way. Since my boss pointed out her suspicions to me, I know she said to keep an eye on him, but I just always get the shivers down my spine at the idea of having dealings with a criminal. Yes, I'm happy to help if I can. I don't know what could have happened. It was the chief physician. I'm sure of it, you've got to believe me. She would have done anything for him, but she swept that under the table. If he threatened her with it, she wouldn't have hesitated to resort to such means. Anything to preserve her career. I did see her leaving the building last night. When I was just starting my night shift, but doesn't mean anything at all. And where were you at the time of the crime? Me? I was the only here for a cigarette break. I just got back from my night shift. And I was going to go straight home after that. Is there anything else that might be relevant besides your theories? Well, I don't know if that's really relevant. But before the PA started here, he worked at another hospital. But he was falsely accused of involuntary manslaughter, so they fired him. Can you imagine that? I told you, the chief physician. And of course, haven't you ever seen a detective drama? I heard the news when she first started here, but I've never really talked to her. I don't think she liked her PA very much. He's a nice guy. We used to smoke together a lot because our shifts synced up well. Didn't he say that him and the guy who died were the only ones that smoked? I don't sync up so much anymore. It's pretty reliable and nice. Nicer than most of the others. She's sneaky, I'm telling you. I think she's so much better than other people, just because she can boss us all around. I'm surprised she wasn't kicked out years ago. She's just as bad influence on everyone else. No, I couldn't stand him. But that doesn't make me a murderer. If I were around wanting to murder people, I'd have started actually doing it a long time ago. Not that I'm saying I did. Fact is, he just wasn't a nice guy. Ask the new doctor, she'll tell you. He really had it in for her. That's more of a motivation to kill him than I've ever had. Besides, I was only on duty on the other ward all night, so I couldn't have killed him anyway. Oh my god. Okay, I have some questions for you. Like I said, I was on duty. I don't know exactly when he was killed, but you're welcome to talk to all the patients in the ward. I suspect a lot of time there that morning. Having a very long conversation with the woman in room 7. She didn't feel well, and she really wanted to talk to somebody about it. Not to mention giving them her whole life story. I remember wondering about the light that was on in the chief physician's office. Thought that was something in the early morning. Oops. No, I don't see anyone. Or wait. The janitor. I saw the janitor on that floor. He said he was looking for a ladder for some repair work. Unfortunately, I couldn't help him. I had my hands full myself that morning. Yeah. The case is absolutely clear. There's only one person who committed the heinous act. Even though every single one of you had motive, the solution is crystal clear. Are you the ambulance driver? No, you're the janitor. You're the chief physician. You must be the nurse. What the fuck are you? Chief physician, janitor, nurse. You doctor. You must be the ambulance driver. Okay. It was the ambulance driver. No, but no, it really wasn't. Does that mean one of us didn't play the role well enough, or is it you that's the problem? I'm a doctor, not a detective. That's probably just as well. It was obviously the new doctor. After all, she was the only one whose alibi was contradicted by everyone. And she said she spent all morning working on the files. But the nurse was very clear that she kept running into the doctor in the hallway. So what was the motive then? Isn't it obvious? The PA and the new doctor used to work at the same hospital. The involuntary manslaughter thing got him fired, but which they could never prove was him. It was actually a murder that she committed. And it didn't go down well with her when somebody else got the credit for it. In fact, she took it so badly that she followed him to the new hospital, and when she caught him in the chief physician's office, she seized her opportunity for revenge. It's very simple when you think of this is stupid. Yeah, sure. I didn't want to do this. Neither did Finley. I'm going home. So what do you think of the show? The show? Well, if you can even call that a hammy acting a show, then I'd say it was pretty straightforward. I can't believe you couldn't solve the murder. Hey, why not? It was a bunch of amateurs made it easy for you. Hey, that's not very nice. Niceness has nothing to do with it. It's about acting, the only thing that keeps us grounded in this world. Do you have any tips for me? I don't know if it's worth the effort. I can't really spare the time. I must leave now. Farewell. Yeah, we're hanging out with Carl next time. You don't have any tips, do you? Hello? The statue's not answering anyone. Ooh, that was exciting. My knees are still knocking. I think my acting needs a little more practice. I'm gonna get going now. What about you guys? I'll stay here in the fresh air for a while longer. Finley, do you have a moment? Alright. Get home safe then. Night night, crime busters. Ugh. I didn't know it was about a murder. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too much for you. I really enjoyed it though. Without you, I probably wouldn't have come. Thanks for getting my mind off of things. Finley, I don't know how you're feeling right now. I don't know it's like when someone dies on you for the first time, but I have to assume that it'll happen to me sometime too. And I'm pretty scared of it. Terrified, actually. But it's also part of the job, and a good doctor needs to be able to handle it. Hey, it might have never happened to you. You're a great doctor. I think that's unrealistic. But when it happens, I want to be ready. What are you thinking right now? Not much. All I want to do right now is sleep. And thank you for joining me. I wouldn't have had the nerves for it without you. Maybe you'll want to do it again in the future? No, thank you. The next time I want to be the detective. I'd be honored to have you solve my murder. I want to keep going. Keep going? Maybe that's what it's all about in the end. Moving on. I want to keep going too. With life here in Porcupine, I mean. I think I like it here. The people, the little streets. The Hibernation Festival was great. I think I could feel at home here, especially with a partner in crime like you. Let's make sure that as few people die here as possible. That's the deal. Deal? Yeah. Deal. Let's get home. I can't wait to get a good night's sleep. Okay, and we'll leave it here for now. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.